Hello, hello. Happy Thursday. We have another episode of Wake Up RIverbend. This is episode 2. Let me bring in my better half, my more attractive half, Katie. How are you, Katie?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good. I'm excited about tonight. How about you?
I am. Megan's awesome.
Yeah,
She's
we
gonna
have
be a great first guest.
Yes. We have a special guest tonight, and Meg Fairless of Megyme Productions. She does a lot of work in the community. Couple things, Katie and I, we've gotten a lot of really great feedback from all y'all in the community, and I'm going to say a couple things, lay some kind of ground rules for the future. This show is all things business, all things community, all things positivity. It's about bringing people together in the community, right, Katie?
That's absolutely right. That's what we're doing.
And so we had a couple people reaching out. They're like, can we be on your show? But I don't own a business. Well, you don't need to own a business. You just need to be somebody who's positively impacting the community. So Katie and I, we're excited. We're going to bring in our special guest, Meg Fairless. What's up, Megan?
Hello. How are you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Awesome.
Pretty good.
Good.
Real quick.
I'm excited to hear.
So on Facebook, it's Meg. Megan, Meg. Yeah. What do you want to be called? Do you like Meg? Do you
Either
like
or.
Matter?
Just whatever's easiest to come out the mouth. So.
Well, I'll go with Meg. So, it's been a crazy week. It's one thing too. It's one thing we'll mention early in the show because we are a community. We've lost a great one this week. It's been a really difficult week for our community. We lost Yvonne Campbell, owner of Just My Desserts. Tragic accident.
My Just Desserts.
Mm-hmm. My Just Desserts. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. 44 years young. It is amazing. How this community's come together. We're kind of mourning and grieving together, and it's just so sad. What we'll do is we will be posting a link on our page. There is a GoFundMe out there, and I don't know what's been raised so far, but I think it's a pretty good number. But it's just sad. So our community, we need to continue to pray, think about this family, and it makes you realize how fragile and how quick everything in your life can change.
Yeah.
So absolutely. I know Megan, you were kind of close with them. You knew those people down there, and I know Katie. We've talked. I've gone. It's right down the road from my office. I like going down there for lunch. This is amazing.
Yeah.
So tonight we're going to have some fun. So Megan, tell us, how the heck did you decide to start Megyme Productions? Like, you and I work together. We've been working together for about 6 months or so, and you've been doing this for a while. And you started out just a little bit. I'll give you a little background. You started out in 2011 just doing weddings, and now you're doing stuff with everyone all over the place. How did you get here? Just go ahead and share how did you get to where we are now?
Well, I guess it all started way back in the beginning days of YouTube, and my friend Haley Nicholson had a Barbie camera. And we used to try and remake YouTube videos, and we made a bunch of silly stuff. And then that evolved into me making stop animation videos at my dad's shop. And then there happened to be this other videographer right up the road that would visit my dad, and that was Michael Gebbin. So from there on out, I just blossomed. Michael helped me learn how to film, how to make friends. So, and I did everything from wedding films to traveling and doing events. And then now I do a lot more business stuff. So a little bit of music videos in there.
So you mentioned your dad. What did your dad do?
So my dad used to own Carmen Art and Design on West Delmar. He's still an artist, but he doesn't have a brick and mortar anymore.
Okay. Very cool. So it's kind of in your bloodline then to do artistic things. Yeah. Cool.
What are your favorite projects? What do you like? What do you love to do? What is your favorite type of shoot?
Normally something that's brand new. One of my favorite past ones was doing the haunted Alton and going around and interviewing all that, and kind of was a brand new world to me. And then this year we're doing a farm documentary. So that's been kind of fun, getting to learn a bunch of stuff about farming that I just wouldn't normally learn on an everyday basis.
Yeah, you
So-
get to definitely go out and do a lot of different walks, you know, from, like you said, the haunted stuff to the weddings. You're meeting a lot of different people and having to kind of jive with a lot of different classes of people and types of people, business people, people who are just, you know, getting married. And I think that's super cool that you can, you know, you're young. How old are you?
I'm 27. I have to think about it sometimes. I'll be 28 in
27.
October.
Yeah. So you're, you know,
be
you're young. You're not
27.
even 30 years old, you know, and you're doing an amazing job. I mean, if you have not seen Meg's work, I'm sure you have, because 90% of my friends that have gotten married in the last 5 years have used you. And I've always heard of you, and I never met you until Adam introduced me to you. And I was like, oh, it's Meg. She's so good. I love her stuff. And so if you haven't seen her, check her out. Do you have a business Facebook page, or is it just your personal page?
Yes, I do. Yep. I have Megyme Productions on Facebook as well.
Okay. So check her page out, because she does everything. I asked her the other day, I said, could you do a voiceover for a commercial without like actual video? She said, oh yeah. So, you know, she could do all kinds of stuff. So check her out there for sure.
Yeah, she's fun to work with. I mean, here, you and I, we shot, I don't know, 40 videos the day before yesterday. And
yeah,
you make it easy. You make it really easy. And, you know, when you started this, so going back in time, you know, starting a business on the surface level is kind of a scary thing, you know? When you started your business, like, how did you get it going? Like, what were some of the basics when you got going, and what were some of the kind of shortcomings and troubles and difficulties that you had when you started your business?
So I was lucky enough to start my business in high school, so there wasn't a lot of pressure to have to work as hard. But looking back over the course of the years, like, I started off just doing wedding films on the weekends while I was still going to school. But as soon as I graduated, I hit full force of trying to get involved with the community and like being top of mind with people, and like marketing more and trying to do as much as possible. So it's constantly trying to stay top of mind within the community.
So if you, like, looking back, like when you started, like back in 2011, so if Meg Fairless now could talk to Meg Fairless then, what advice would you give the younger Meg Fairless?
You need to work harder. I always think that I'm working really hard right now, and then a year from now I'll reflect on like the past year and I'm like, oh girl, you have no clue what's to come. Like so, yeah, I can see a lot more progression when I work harder. So I was lazier when I was younger.
Yeah, when I look
I think
back
it's
on
also that. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead, Adam.
Well, I was saying, when you look back, you know, I'm going to be 42 in September, and I look back on my entrepreneurial walk, and I look back at the 25-year-old Adam, the 30-year-old Adam. I didn't like that Adam at some level, but then you realize you go through these different phases of growth. I mean, as you grow in your entrepreneurial walk, you learn so much and you make so many mistakes. And that's part of this show, is like, let's bring people together so we can talk about some of these mistakes, so others don't have to make those same mistakes. Mistakes are expensive lessons, but I'll tell you, that's where the growth comes in, is actually falling on your butt and getting back up again, you know?
Absolutely.
Well, and what works now, you know, what works for you now may not have worked for you 5 years ago. You know, everything changes, you know, and especially in film, and my God, technology, the change, I'm sure, just in the equipment and the editing and everything that you've done now in 2022 from 11 years ago when you started is an extreme. Look at the iPhone. My God, somebody took a picture of that moon last night with their iPhone and it looked like, you know, an expensive camera. So everything changes, whether it be in the automotive industry or the healthcare or film. It doesn't matter what industry you're in, things are constantly changing. And so, you know, it's hard to sometimes, I think, not beat yourself up for maybe not starting something sooner because you just weren't there yet. Maybe you're mentally not there or physically not there, you know? And so, you know, working harder, absolutely. But, you know, I feel like everything happens at the right reason for the right time, you know, and meeting Adam for me was the right reason at the right time. Meeting you, you know, we're going to work together soon on some business stuff. So, you know, there's just always the right reason at the right time. And that's how I've always tried to look at my business too, instead of trying to force things.
So during COVID, you know, I had to pivot. You know, I started a new company, had some debt, had some expenses, and then COVID showed up and we had to shut the world down. My income went to like nothing. I had to pivot and do things online. I learned a lot about myself. So tell us a little bit about during that era, you know, when there weren't people out and about, what did you do? What did you do to survive? How did you grow your business during that time?
So it was very sad in the beginning. I won't lie. I did fall into like the little hole of helplessness. But I just clicked out of it one day and I was like, I can't do this. Like, it's going to last way longer than what I expect it to. So I need to be proactive with my time. So I lost a lot of weddings. So majority of my income is from wedding films, and their weddings were pretty much illegal at a certain point. Like, you just could not have them. I lost a lot of like payments and that. But I did have like a few friends that like I love to death that decided to go ahead and pay in full a future wedding date during the pandemic, just because they were like, we have a constant income, so it's not going to change whether there's a pandemic or not. So them giving me those extra blessings helped me stay afloat and pay rent. And then just for the boredom side of things, I connected with the Nature Institute, which I absolutely love. It's like my safe place. And I like went out there like every week and I made a video for them just to like build better ties and like help support the community. I'm out there so much doing photos anyway, so I was like, I might as well support them. So I did stuff like that around the community just to like stay busy and keep my name relevant. So
you use the word community. So one of your quotes, I'm gonna say one of your quotes for you here, is community over competition. I freaking love that. Share with me a little bit about how'd you come up with that? What does that really mean to you?
So I don't think I came up with it. I definitely picked it up somewhere, but I was traveling around and I realized in different communities, definitely within the photographer community, it can be a little harsh sometimes, but whenever I traveled around other places, they were like, oh no, we're chill. We all work with each other. It's fun. I'm like, oh my God, it works. So I brought that mentality back and I really just like hooked onto that motto and put it everywhere just so it's like really relevant for other people to see. And that like, it just makes life easier for me to be friends with all the different creatives that are in the community. Because for one, I can't do everything. It's impossible for me to keep up with as much content that needs to be created right around here. And I don't like doing everything. So there might be someone who enjoys doing newborn photography, like Carrie Carpunky, and I'm 100% going to send everyone that way. But and if I'm too full on something, I send them to another person that's right there and ready to go. So I'm sharing the inquiries and supporting my other friends at the same time. So, and then they send it back too.
That's you get it back 10x. And here's the thing for our younger viewers, or maybe younger entrepreneurs, or maybe you're kind of in your walk. When you truly want everyone around you to win, you win, and you win in 10x proportions. And it's really difficult at age. So I'll tell you, I'm proud of you for at age 27 to think like that, because I'll be honest, at 27, I didn't think like that. I was like, dominate. I'm going to win. I'm winning, right? I don't want my competitors to win. But now it's, if I truly want everyone to win, you win. And then everything's much greater. So that is one tip that I can share that is absolute fact. If you truly wish others around you success, you become wildly successful.
Absolutely. I believe in karma 1000%.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So what do you do? So you're obviously busy, you're booked up. What does Meg Fairless do for fun? Like, how do you unplug, shut it down? Work doesn't exist. Screen Adam Marburger's calls. Don't take my text. What do you do? Don't ever do that, by the way. I'm just kidding. What do you do to shut it down?
I either am napping, because that's the easiest, funnest hobby. Or like if I have time and it lines up with the schedule, I'm trying to camp as much as possible, just being disconnected from technology, because my whole entire life is internet technology constantly. So getting somewhere where my phone doesn't have service is pretty nice.
It's kind of nice not to answer that dang thing sometimes.
Yeah.
You know,
And you have a husband too, right?
Yep, Zane. I love him. He's my little adventure buddy. We go everywhere. We try and go everywhere. But yeah, he's amazing, supporting me and dealing with the highs and the lows and everything in between. So
speaking of the lows here, have you ever had a client that you had to fire? Tell us about that. Have you ever had a client that
It's gonna be you. I mean, if she's gonna have to fire anybody, it's definitely gonna be
Adam.
Some client here in business, I found this out. I mean, here I've got hundreds and hundreds of dealer clients all over the country. And I've had some abusive ones. I mean, real abusive. And parting ways with a client early on is difficult because we need the money. But over time, the money isn't as important and you can actually make decisions on who you can do business. So have you ever run across somebody that just wasn't a fit? And how did you handle that?
So 90% of the time I'm like super blessed. I can normally like smell it before I get into any project. And I'm blessed because like everyone's my best friend that I work with. So it's like an easy way to make friends. But there was one client and it was an accident on my part. I accidentally left an audio recorder running while I had to run and grab some equipment from my car. And then when I got back, she was like, "Oh no, don't listen to the audio." I was like, okay. And I didn't think twice about it. And I really wouldn't have. And the way that my software works, I wouldn't have even heard the audio because it wouldn't line up with video. But then she just kept on saying it. Please promise me you won't listen to that audio. Don't listen to that audio. I'm like, okay, now I got to listen to the audio. So, and I just try and do it gracefully. It was like not a major client. And so what I did is I already have like the community over competition. So I have a whole repertoire of people that know how to handle different types of people. And I just reached out to them. And I said, hey, this is what I dealt with. Do you want this client? And they're like, absolutely. So then I reached back out to my client and be like, hey, I can no longer work with you because my schedule's too busy, but here's someone that I highly recommend that's at the same price as me. So you won't deal with going without. So I highly recommend checking them out. So
were they talking negatively about you, I'm assuming, is what they were doing?
Oh yeah. I never listened to the audio. My husband did, but I just didn't want to know because that'll live in the back of my head. And
I love that you didn't listen to that. I think that's great. Why bring yourself down? Why? And that's the other thing, you know, everybody's going to have some sort of negativity about them. It does not matter if you're the president of the United States or, you know, whatever your degree is or your job is, you're going to have somebody say something negative about you. And, you know, most people pour their heart into whatever they're doing. And so, you know, even if they're not doing a great job, if you could tell that they care, you know, that's something I think I've tried to do as a business owner too, is look at other people and try to give them a little bit of grace. Okay, they're, you know, whatever. And if I do have an issue with them, talk to them rather than, you know, saying something behind their back, especially like social media. I see a lot of people get slammed on social media and slam other businesses. And, you know, if you have a problem with somebody and talking to them face to face is going to create more community togetherness and working things out rather than, you know, creating division. You know, we've already got enough division in this world. We don't need to do that in our small community here.
Amen. Absolutely. So. Yeah. So I saw something last week that you were doing, Megan. Tell us a little bit about, so you're teaching people how to shoot really cool videos on just their smartphones. Tell us a little about what that program is and a little more about it.
So Sarah Megyme with Alton Main Street approached me with the opportunity to teach how to use your phone to make videos for your business. And so the first thing I did was made a video with my phone teaching people how to do it. And that was successful. So she was like, okay, how about an in-person class? I was like, all right, let's do it. And it was like right before I went on one of those magical camping trips without any service. And I posted it, went away, came back, and it was sold out. So I was like, all righty, that was shocking. So I just did that. I think that was Tuesday night this week. That was a lot of fun. I got to work kind of hands-on and show people exactly how to use the app and some creative ways of doing it and like setting expectations because it's hard to like vlog every single day. So And then I just got a message from Sarah, I think yesterday, and I think we will be doing a second class on August 16th. So we'll be posting details about that later.
Please do. And then we'll share it out on the Wake Up RiverBend page. Here's the thing too, anybody starting out at a business, today we can talk about how do we spend our advertising dollars. Now, I learned this years ago. The most important thing in any business is not sales. A lot of people say sales, generating revenue is the most important thing in any business. Well, the reality is it's the marketing and advertising campaign that's going to be able to create opportunities that we can then turn into sales. Well, in 2022, this right here is how we make it rain, right? So as a new business owner, somebody getting into, whether you're branding yourself, maybe you're a solopreneur, you're by yourself, maybe you're starting a small business. It's amazing what you can do with this thing. It's be authentic. You don't even need to have, and you can maybe elaborate on this a little bit, Megan. You don't really need to have a full studio and high level production and all the fancy stuff. You can turn this bad boy around and do a little selfie in just a quick 60-second video. What are some tips that you can share for some people out there that are trying to brand themselves? Maybe they're trying to get into business and they're starting to really start tapping into social media. What are some tips you can share to help people?
The biggest tip that I have is just do it. Don't sit and try and strategize or think about it too much. Start actively trying all the different tools and try and utilize all the different tools that social media gives you, from videos, photos, polls, stories, everything. And don't be shy in front of the camera. The more you do it, the easier it gets. Even though I've been doing this for 10 years, it's still kind of hard to talk good. So I say just keep on doing it. And the more you do it, the better it gets. And never try and aim for perfect or good. Just try and aim for doing it just in general. Just because some of the videos that I put a lot of effort in, they'll get 3 views. And then I'll make something I put 5-minute effort in of me flying around on a carpet looking like I'm Becky. And then that'll just blow up. It literally took 5 minutes to make. So quality doesn't matter. It's about consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And being one thing too is be authentic. Be who you are. Don't be somebody you're not, or try to be. Be yourself. It's all about being you. And people can relate to that online. I'll tell you, social media, without it, I wouldn't be where I'm at. I'll tell you that right now. I mean, I know, Katie, you've done
if I did not have Facebook, I hate Facebook because you know why. But if I did not have Facebook, I would not have a job. I would not have a business. And it's, I've used other video. I do lots of live videos. Adam does too. And that is for me, has been the best marketing tool of just being in front of people, consistently talking about what I'm passionate about. And that has really been the biggest thing. And so, for somebody like you, who's, you're constantly showing this content that you have, look what I could do. Look how good and not that you're saying, look how good I am, but look how good I am at what I love to do. That makes people excited about what you're doing. And it makes people want to work with you. You just did one of my best friends forever, Katie's wedding last weekend. I was so excited when I saw you there. And I said to Katie, I said, oh man, you picked the right one. She said, I know, I've been obsessively watching all of her stuff on Facebook. She's awesome. And she said, I'm so excited. I can't wait to see my video. So you can tell you love what you do.
Oh yeah. I'm blessed. That's for sure.
So let me ask you this. So you're 27. Where do you see yourself in let's just say 10, 13 years? Where's your business
13.
going? What are some of your big visions? Do you have anything cool in store that you want to share? Any ideas?
I honestly, that's probably my weakest part, is knowing what's next. I know everything is achievable, and normally I'm pretty aggressive with how quickly I try and achieve stuff. So I guess the next goal is kind of securing more of a team, so then I don't have to be at every single event, just because there is such a demand, and I feel bad for having to turn down a lot of stuff, even though there's people that work with me that are just as good, if not better than me. And maybe some new equipment.
Okay.
I'm living
Do
on
you
a
have
beach
employees,
somewhere.
Meg?
So they're technically contracted out, but one of my best friends since middle school, we used to make YouTube videos. Now he consistently helps me with everything. His name's Jordan Bruce. I couldn't function like you saw him on the wedding day. He's a little bit taller, so he can see over everything and help with picking up the dresses. And then mentally, I'm just not there, and he's just helping move me along through the day.
So you
That's cool.
have, I saw something you're doing. I don't know if it's next weekend or what weekend, but you're doing some type of photo booth deal. Tell us a little bit about what that is and how we can check that out.
So this Saturday at the Alton Farmers Market, Sarah Megyme with Alton Main Street again gave me another opportunity. Yeah, she's amazing.
She's awesome.
She gave me the opportunity to be a spotlight artist, and we went back and forth with some ideas. And I was like, let's do a photo booth. I mean, that's pretty interactive, and it'll give something to people that they can walk away with. So I collaborated with my dad, who's an artist. And I went out and to the bluffs and took some pictures of the bluffs. And then my dad carved this pie-saw bird. It's still flat, but it has like some dimension to it. So people will be able to stand behind the pie-saw bird with the bluffs behind them. And we're going to be doing photos down there. So we'll see how good that goes.
That's so cool that he carved that.
Yeah, that's so cool. So I think we can all agree, the three of us here, that we absolutely love Alton. You know, I was talking, I don't want you to think, Megan, I was cheating on you, but this morning, I haven't told really anybody this, but I had Discovery Channel and Alton videoing me all morning, following me around. And I'm going to be on one of these little short documentaries. It's called Murder in the Heartland. It's about a case over 15 years ago. But this gentleman's from LA, and we talked all morning. He's like, what is it that you love about Alton? Because he could tell I was so radiant and passionate about Alton. And I was like, you want to know? I'll tell you. I was in LA. I was in your town 3 weeks ago. I love LA. I was in Miami last week. I love Miami. But there's nothing like driving over that Clark Bridge and seeing the beautiful little river town. And what I told him was, it's the sense of community. It's people come together, they stick together, people are polite. Now, some will say, if you look for brown, you're going to find brown. There's bad stuff in every single town. That goes without saying. There's bad people in good places everywhere we go. But I would say, for the most part, Alton is just a great place to live, do business, shop, dine. What is it that you love so much about Alton? Because I know you're passionate about this town, but what is it that you love about Alton?
Well, other than the amazing community, and I think I forget what percentage they said, but I think majority of businesses are owned by females, so that's kind of empowering. But other than that, like the history, like I will fall down rabbit holes on some of the crazy history that we have around here, and then that kind of leads into like the ghost stuff. So I got a soft spot for all the ghost and spirit stuff. And then just how beautiful it is. It's really kind of gorgeous area, and you forget how gorgeous the river road is, and because you see it every single day. But then you travel somewhere else and you're like, oh, this is poop. Like, and then it's like, oh, eagles soaring.
So beautiful. Here, I purposely, right now, there's so much construction. Like, I don't know about you guys, if you've driven downtown, it's like, like you have to go out of the way, but now it forces me to go down the river road. I mean, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. So Megan, how can people follow you? How can people get a hold of you? How can people reach you? I will be posting on you on our page, but if you could share with the audience how people can follow you and reach out to you.
So the best way to reach me is through my website. It's meganfairless.com. You can follow me on Instagram, which it's Megyme Films. And then I also have a Facebook page that I sometimes interact with. That's the one that I'm least active on, but that one's Megyme Productions as well. So. Yep.
I really don't want to share you because you and I are doing a lot right now. But at the end of the day, you got to grow your business, girl. And I'll tell you, you are, I don't want to, I will say this. I've worked with a lot of people and a lot of video production companies, and there's been some really good ones. There's been some great ones, but you're by far the best, and you make things very easy. So for a business owner out there that does not have a video, a 60-second, 90-second video spotlighting who you are, what you do, and why you do it, and how people can contact you with a call to action, you need to. Because people communicate via video now. It's got to be short, to the point, real simple, clarity. But I'm telling you, if you're a business owner and you're looking to put something together, reach out to Megan. You will not be disappointed. I can say that. So I appreciate you taking the time.
Before we close here, I want to talk about some events that are coming up just in our town too.
Okay.
So we have the Alton Farmers Market this weekend. It's every weekend, correct, Megan?
Correct.
Do you know the times on that, the farmers market?
I believe it starts at 8 a.m. and it goes till 2 p.m. I could be wrong.
And it's down there in the Alton Bell parking lot still?
Yep.
Okay, down the Argosy, I guess, not Alton Bell anymore. We still call it Alton Bell.
Yeah.
Alton Bell. It's going to be Alton Bell.
The Argosy parking lot. Yeah, well, so if you haven't checked out the farmers market, that is an amazing place. They don't just have food. They have all kinds of stuff. They have pottery. They have soaps. So check that out. Also, you know me with the live music. I want to talk about that. Baker's and Hale is one of my favorite restaurants, and they have live music every single weekend. So this weekend, Friday night, tomorrow night is Stubblefield, Matt Tall, from 7 to 11. Then the Town Criers on Saturday, 7 to 11. They're awesome. They played with us down at Jeff Bensman's birthday bash out in May by Max. And oh my gosh, they have a lot of original music. There's some older gentlemen, 60s and 70s. Man, they were great. So they're the Town Criers. And then Lively is on Sunday. Lively is a young band. These kids some of them are still in high school, and they rock. They do AC/DC. They do all kinds of cool stuff. So they're fun to watch too. So Baker's and Hale, check them out. And then Lady Luck, of course, we're going to be there July 29th as well, following weekend. So if you guys, could share some content about what's going on in the community, get everybody involved, that would be awesome too.
Yeah. A lot coming up. There's a lot coming up. So Megan, thank you. Thank you for joining us. And I will be tagging and posting, and we just appreciate your time tonight. Thank you for blessing the community like you do, and continue to keep doing great things. I know I'm a huge fan. I'm sure that you've gained plenty of new fans, and I'm very proud of you. And I'm grateful to call you friend, not just a business partner. So you have a wonderful rest of your night, my friend. And we'll talk sooner than later, Megan. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
See you, Megan.
See ya.
So we have my daughter, Aston, has been blowing me up FaceTime. I don't know about you, Katie, like your little boy's too young to blast FaceTime, but I told my daughters, I'm like, hey, daddy's going to be tied up for about 40 minutes, but I think I'm at 47 FaceTimes. So, but that was here. That was fun. So here's a couple things I'm going to say. Katie and I, we've had some talks over the last, actually 2 weeks since our last show. We want to thank you guys and gals for the support, for following our journey. A lot of really, really nice messages, a lot of great connections that we've had. We absolutely love this community. We're committed to this community. We're honored to be a part of this community. And we just can't thank you guys enough for following. And if there's anybody in this community that wants to be a part of kind of what we're doing, reach out to us. Shoot us a private message. Shoot Katie a message, myself a message. We've got some really high-level, fantastic guests on our roster. So we're booked up over the next 10 weeks or so, our next 10 shows, but we want to fill that roster because here's what we want to do. We want to share the message of entrepreneurship in our community. And we want to highlight and celebrate people that are making a difference. And I'll tell you, strengths in numbers. It takes a village, and we're much better together. And I believe that. So, Katie, do you have any sound off before we get out of here and finish our night, girl?
Sound off. Share our video, like our Facebook page, and keep on rocking at them.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, please follow our page. We will consistently put things on that page. We'll put Megan's information on there. We'll put little previews of who our upcoming guests are on that show as well. Mm-hmm. And we appreciate you. Have a wonderful rest of your night. My light goes on and off. Hey, let's sound off with a head nod. So have a wonderful night. Katie, talk to you tomorrow, girl. See ya.
See ya.